Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Decoding Your Superpowers.
Yeah,
I'm Teresa Lisum with my friend and fellow coach.
Linda Karchner.
We're so glad you're here, and we're so glad we're here.
Yeah. And we're going to challenge ourselves today.
Hmm.
I think that this aspect of strengths that we're going to talk about today is something that we don't have like, it's just not ingrained in us yet.
Right, right.
So we're exploring and sharing with all of you. It's kind of the path, the journey we're on,
Yeah, thank you
understanding
for
this
that.
aspect.
So I think the more we talk about it, the better understanding we will have of it.
Right.
When you have to explain something to another person,
Yeah.
your brain starts to really simplify and you have a
Mhm.
better understanding of it. So that's what we've been doing. It's been a journey to really understand and grasp this information. So today we'll just get better at explaining it and
Yeah.
sharing it with everybody. So hang on to your hats.
Yeah, that's
We'll
right.
try to keep it as simple as possible. And again, if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Ask us. We'll try to answer it to the best of our ability.
Yes.
But we sometimes we come on here and we talk about individual strengths.
Hmm.
We'll look at a strength report and
Hmm.
we'll look at that and kind of talk about the general overview of that particular person based on their results.
Hmm.
So today we're not really going to talk about any individual strength, but we're going to talk about a couple of concepts that
Hmm.
I find to be very intriguing and very helpful in
Hmm.
terms of understanding myself and understanding other people. So, beneath every strength or accompanying every strength is a way of looking through a lens to the world, like through a filter, through
Hmm.
a dimension, through an aspect. And those don't really make sense as I say them, but they're a way of looking at the world. And once you understand that this is how you're looking at the world, it gives you a better way of relating to the world. How does that sound, Linda? Does
And it
that kind
sounds
of make
like we're
sense?
yeah. It sounds like we're on a journey of exploration as we're
Hmm.
trying to explain this. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, we've talked about how strengths can be grouped into domains. We've talked about
Hmm.
domains a lot.
Yeah.
So it could be relationship building, could be executing, could be strategic thinking, could be influencing. So this is another aspect or a nuance
Hmm.
of how each strength kind of fits into a, a category or another dimension. Um, and so hopefully maybe that gives us a little bit of a perspective. It's just another way of looking at each strength and how you relate to, like Teresa said, how you relate to the world, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your hobbies, your health, everything.
Hmm. So we're in relationship with everything, as you said.
Mhm,
You're in
mhm,
relationship with your health. You're in relationship
mhm,
with
mhm.
your close family members. You're in relationship with your coworkers. You're in relationship with the world at large. So
Yes.
it's all about
So says
relationships.
our connectedness.
Yes. So, whether you believe that or you hold the same opinion or not, I mean, you may not, but that's okay. But we just want to talk about two aspects,
Mm-hmm.
two lenses, two dimensions today.
Hmm.
And one is coming through and looking at the world through the lens of evaluating and
Hmm.
expectations.
Right.
And then the other lens is kind of like the opposite of that. You're looking through this lens of exploring and
Mhm.
curiosity. And I wonder what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, like
So,
we'll see how that works out. We'll
mm-hmm,
let that play out. This is sort of the exploring. we'll let that play out and see what happens.
Yes. And then there's those of us who are like me, we're showing up and looking through the lens of,
Mhm.
oh, things should be a certain way. And I'm here and I already kind of have in my head
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
right.
And so I'm already prepped and ready a certain way
Hmm.
for certain things to pan out. Whereas you might come to the
Right.
same situation and like you said, like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen here. Oh,
Hmm.
what an adventure. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I can't wait to see where this is going.
Right.
So there are two points of view
Hmm.
to see any situation, see any
Hmm.
person, and neither of them is right, neither of them is
Exactly.
wrong. They're
Hmm.
just different ways of
Yeah.
navigating the world. And I think that's a good thing to have an awareness around because we tend to think that everybody looks at the world like we do.
Hmm.
That's
Of
not the
course.
case.
And one little kind of side note that I think is fascinating, if you followed us for any length of time, we often have a really good chuckle about how similar our strengths are. Like our bottom five are the same exact strengths in different orders,
Hmm.
but because this is one way that people with similar strengths could have a different outlook. You have more of the evaluating lens, and I have
Hmm.
more of the exploring lens. So even though our strengths are very similar, here's where, the shades of nuance are.
Mm.
There's some differences in us.
I love that. Yeah, this is just a deeper dive
Yeah.
into our strengths. And this
Hmm.
is something that not every strengths coach is going to know or understand.
Right. Right.
So we kind of bring that specialty
Hmm.
to the table of
Hmm.
this understanding. But it's
Yeah,
really good for us to know as much as we can about ourselves. You know,
absolutely.
that's why I love this whole strength, this superpower concept.
Hmm.
It's just more to know about ourselves so that we can be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And this is just another layer, just another
Right.
tool to help us be our best version. Excuse me. So, should we talk about your dimension where you are curious and exploring?
Yeah, I guess we can try that. Um, so, this is something that like I said earlier, like this is still a learning process for me. And what I have found um is that when I spend too much time trying to evaluate instead of just having that exploring mindset, especially for myself in my own business, I kind of get stopped.
Hmm.
It stops me when I am evaluating and saying, you know, I want to try this in my business, but is it the right way? Is it the best way? And I'm just kind of going off like some of the things that you shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is this who I am? Are people going to look at me like, am I getting my message across? So the flip side is awareness of when I try to do the thing that is not natural to me, it stops me. I get analysis paralysis
Hmm.
because I'm spending so much time evaluating that I'm not acting. I'm not saying, okay, let's just try this and see what happens. And I've done that, you know, for all of like working as an entrepreneur. I have done that so much. So,
So what I'm
yeah,
hearing is when you come into a situation where you are overthinking,
yeah,
overanalyzing,
yeah.
over expecting, like this is what I should be doing. This is what
Mhm,
I hear that people are telling me I should do. This, like, that's when you
mhm.
kind of get frozen
Right.
and don't take action.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're more free flowing and like,
Mhm.
Oh, let's see what's going to happen if I
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's where you feel open and you're able to move forward
Right.
and take those actions
Hmm.
because your actions can lead you to something fabulous or they may not, but either
Right.
one's okay.
Yeah. It can just, give me further information on
Mm,
how to tweak things
I love
by
that.
exploring the possibilities.
Mm,
And when I go into a situation thinking, what can I learn about myself or my business or how it works for me, then I will do things and, no one dies. It's not like it's brain surgery that
right, right, right. There's
I
not that
think I
much
would,
on the line.
yeah, I think I would want my brain surgeon to be the kind of person who is evaluating and
Yes.
knows all the possibilities.
Right, right. And knows all the
Yeah,
consequences
but
and
but the kinds of jobs that I'm doing with of course I want to be responsible with coaching, but I'm I'm not, I don't have someone's life in my hands.
right, right. So you're okay with uncertainty.
Yeah. Yeah. I I have become more aware of that in myself, that part of me. I do a lot of work with like our church and our community playground, and I don't get too bent out of shape about things that are kind of a glitch. I'm like, you know what? We can just go with the flow.
Hmm.
And
I love
if it
that.
doesn't work out, it's okay. We'll try something different.
And so you're learning as
Hmm.
you go, like
Yeah.
learning things on the
Yeah.
fly, pivoting on the fly,
Hmm.
making a different decision based
Yeah.
on what you just discovered.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm not irresponsible about it. I like to prepare. I like to
Hmm.
consider all of the
Hmm.
possibilities. But when it comes down to it, um, I don't get thrown too often when something doesn't work out.
I love that. So that sounds like a really nice way to go through life.
Yeah. Are you jealous?
I am a little jealous. I am a little jealous. But you are seeking. It's like almost like a treasure hunt. Like, ooh, I wonder what's going to be here if
Yeah.
I do
Uh,
this.
mhm.
Ooh, okay, that didn't work out. Ooh,
Right.
what else can I try? And then it just feels like you could just make corrections
Right.
very easily and very quickly based on what you're observing, the information you're
Mhm.
gathering from your input and
Right.
taking in. But yeah, I love all that. That
Yeah,
just
it's
seems
kind
like
of
a
like
beautiful way
let's
to
just do
navigate.
something, and it often works out,
Mm,
which is awesome. But let's do something because something that I'm passionate about, and let's reach out to these kids. Let's do something that benefits the kids.
hmm.
Maybe we don't have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted yet, but let's do something to be of a benefit to the community or to the church.
So your lens is, again, it's an adventure. Let's figure
Hmm.
this out. I trust that it's all going to work out. I trust
Hmm.
what I come up with. I trust
Hmm.
what you come up with. It's very flexible, very open-minded
Hmm.
way of seeing life and navigating life. That lens is very
Right.
open-minded.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love
definitely.
that. Now, in contrast,
Yeah. Let's talk about you.
in contrast, I'm all about, as I said at the beginning, expectations. I have a story of the way it should be playing out in my head.
Mhm.
So I'm showing up right off the bat with this narration
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
head. And I'm not as, it sounds like I'm not as flexible
Mhm.
as you are in that moment.
Right.
Now, I do believe knowing that about myself. I mean, that was really a powerful insight when I discovered that.
Hmm.
Like, oh, yeah, 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 I do that. And that's why I was so stressed as a younger person
Yeah.
because I'm showing up with these ways of doing things and ways
Mhm.
of thinking that I expected everybody else to be on board with.
Right.
And they were not because they didn't know what was in my head.
Yeah.
So
Because
I
you didn't,
experienced a lot of stress because of that.
did you know what was in your head and it just like you didn't know how to verbalize it
No,
or you just assumed everybody else ought to be
I
thinking that
just
way?
assumed everybody would think like that. Like,
Yeah,
you
everyone
don't
else.
know
Yeah.
that this should have been 5 inches by 20 inches. Like, I thought
Mhm.
everybody knew that, like
Right.
something very simple like that. And and what I mean, I went through my whole life like that
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
until I had this insight shared with me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that this could be why
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
some of that frustration, those
Yeah.
triggers. You're being triggered because you're not communicating with the outside world what's going on in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing, it's just a thing
Yeah.
to understand about ourselves so that
Mm-hmm.
when I do show up to a situation or in front of a person who I had a certain expectation about,
Mm-hmm.
I can like acknowledge, oh, I kind of thought it was going to be this way, and
Yeah.
here's why.
Right. Right.
Because someone like me is bringing our entire
Mm-hmm.
life's experience to this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're kind of basing it on that past experience, which is kind of ironic since I have context very low.
Yeah. Me too.
So,
One of our bottom five.
but one of our bottom fives, but yet I'm almost using that to judge what's
Mm-hmm.
happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Evaluate.
So that has brought a lot of stress into my life.
Yeah. Mm.
But again, once I had that understanding, I could let a lot of that go. Like, oh, you just don't get what I expected. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the story I already had made up in advance. And then
Mm-hmm.
I show up, and if what was happening, playing out, was not lining up with that story that I already came with, then I was experiencing a mismatch and frustration. But now I know better and, like, oh, okay, I either communicate what's my expectations were, or I better change my expectations in my head and
Yeah.
become more like you, more
Yeah.
flexible, more open-minded. So I really think we need a balance between
Mm-hmm.
the two.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that like for me, after I have experienced whether or not something works, then I'm more of an evaluator about that particular scenario or topic. So, I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. Um, like maybe doing something at church and we try to do like a certain activity with the kids or something. And no one shows up and there's like, oh, here's a good example. So I've recently volunteered to be the kids ministry coordinator and being a person who loves learning and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I was recommending that we do a teacher training because it's all volunteers. They haven't had much training, they haven't had a leader for a while. And so I still think it's important, but I was getting a lot of feedback from the teachers that they're just not into that. They're very busy. A lot of them are just kind of filling a slot in the rotation for the
Mm-hmm.
time being because they have grandkids or kids who are in the that age group. And so I'm
Right.
like, you know what? I need to back off. Like I put the feelers out. I kind of was gauging the temperature. And so I sent a text and I was like, okay, one, two, or three. One is I love this idea of a teacher training and I can't wait to get started. Two is I know I should say number one, but I really don't have time. And three is, that's I just, not I forget what all the options were. And so we tested it, we explored, and I pulled back on the teacher
Mm.
training. I'm going to do something different. I don't know what, but you know, they just by me exploring, getting the feelers out, now I can say, okay, this is not for them. I can be more
Mm-hmm. Yep.
evaluating about
Yep.
it. This is
Yep.
not for this group of volunteers at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another group of volunteers at another time, it might be different. But this group of volunteers at this time, no.
So you were exploring, you were
Yeah.
checking to see, what was in the treasure box. Like, ooh, what?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you got certain reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So you were able to step back a little bit.
Right.
Whereas I might have gone into that same situation, like, okay, we're going to do this and this and
Yeah.
this. I got this plan. Let's go.
Right.
And if nobody responded in a positive way, I
Mm-hmm.
might have got really upset,
Right.
angry with them, angry with myself, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So just knowing that about ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
you know that you can pivot. I know
Right.
that I either have to, if I do come up with my expectations, okay, that's fine, but I better be okay with changing them.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
in
and
that
and
situation.
and a piece of it too for you is just using my example, like talking to those volunteers about the importance of it. Like you
Hmm.
you have that evaluation, that expectation in your mind, in your heart, and getting them on board with it through the power of your enthusiasm about it
Hmm.
and your
True.
commitment to that and saying to them, this is why it's important
Hmm.
because I've seen cases where volunteers aren't trained and they're more stressed than they would be if they hadn't had gotten,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, you
Yep.
know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, so like and letting people know your expectations and why they're important.
Because
And
they obviously are important for a reason,
yeah,
or
yeah,
I wouldn't be attached to them.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And you would share your own personal life experience of why that was important to you
Right.
and
You're
why you
right.
saw it as meaningful. So
Yeah.
so
Thank
for
you for
me,
that.
I it's just different. Like I kind of went on that gut feeling of what I had observed and um so we just put a pin in it, as they say. In the back of my mind, it's still there. I
Right.
still see the value of it, but
And you'll just figure out another way of
yeah, I'll
coming
just
back around with
keep
a
exploring
different
and
angle.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, I love that. So hopefully everybody listening in, you can see that we have two different perspectives,
Hmm.
two ways of coming to the same situation, and neither are right or neither are wrong. It's just
Right.
having that awareness about ourselves.
Yep.
Like,
Awareness and
oh,
communicating
okay.
about it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So
Hmm.
there's so much communication
Hmm.
involved in everyday life that sometimes we forget. As I said, sometimes I forget that other people don't
Yeah.
think like me.
And just thinking about like one of the most important relationships in the world is like a husband and wife.
Hmm.
And can you imagine if one person, because it always, opposites attract, one person has that evaluating mindset, the other has the exploring mindset, and really can butt heads.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to check out my husband's and
You
see
will,
which way
yeah.
he is.
I think my husband's is more the exploring, but I have to double check that again.
Yeah, because I'm going to say that the magic happens when we understand both
Mhm.
aspects,
Yeah.
both set of
Yeah.
lenses.
Yeah.
Again, neither lens is right, neither one is wrong. We need them both,
Right.
and
And
they
you
both
can kind
balance
of
each other.
grow into one or the other a little bit
Yes,
too.
yes. So it's just the
Yeah.
starting point,
Yeah.
how we understand how we're coming into
Hmm.
whatever, how we're navigating life, and we just learn to change and do something different than we would have done without knowing that information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
fascinating to me.
Knowledge is
I
power.
you are so right, my friend, so right. So I hope that we didn't blow your minds too much. We
Yeah.
we got to start to really simplify and streamline, which we're trying to
We're
do.
trying to
I
do that.
know we
Yeah.
can get kind of geeky, but
Totally.
if nothing else, hopefully you understand the relevance of knowing yourself better, as we mentioned many, many times during this conversation,
Yeah.
and understanding that you do have value. You are a gift to the world.
Absolutely.
You have so many things to share. Just understand how you're sharing it
Yeah.
and what angle you need to share it at or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's just another nuance that we are thrilled to be able to share with our clients,
Hmm.
another level of understanding that we want to share
Hmm.
with the world. If there is a comment you want to leave and share with us, please do so. If you have a assessment result that you want to share with us,
Hmm.
we always invite you to send it over to us. We'd
Yeah.
love to take a sneak peek into who you really are.
Hmm.
And we invite you to come back next week. Hopefully, we didn't scare anybody off,
You're right.
but ask us questions.
Yeah.
You can connect with either me or Linda, and we will be delighted to
Hmm.
check out whatever you want us to check out.
Yeah.
Okay, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm going to put up my
Oh, yeah.
sign here. Take what you can take and
Mhm.
leave the rest.
Right.
Now, you might only understand one little piece of it, and that's okay. And
Hmm.
then maybe the next time you'll understand one more little piece of it. I think that's how I come about all of my understanding,
Yeah.
little bits at a time when I'm ready for them.
Right.
And then I'll understand them, then I can go on to the next piece. But thank you so much, Linda.
Thank
I'm
you,
so glad
everyone.
that you're
Yeah.
here in
Thanks,
person.
Teresa.
Thank you to everybody listening in, and we will see you the next time on Decoding Your Superpowers.
Yay. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.